Love is never a one-way street, especially when one partner is a predator and the other is a survivor. Today, we move from the why to the how. We are looking at the magnetic pull of the static. In the world of Twilight and the Vampire Diaries, static is the ultimate currency. It is the ability to stop the clock, to freeze emotion, and to build a life where nothing ever changes. But for a human to enter this static world, they must offer something in return. What if I told you that Bella and Elena didn't just stumble into these worlds? What if they subconsciously weaponized their own fragility to bind these supernatural entities to them? Today, we explore the survival strategies of the chosen ones. We are moving past the romance to look at the cold, hard mechanics of the safe haven and the price paid for admission. Section 1. The transaction of the need. In standard romance, the power dynamic is ideally balanced. In supernatural romance, it is inherently tilted. Edward Cullen and Stefan Salvatore possess infinite strength, wealth, and time. Bella and Elena possess what, exactly? On the surface, it seems they have nothing. They are fragile, clumsy, and human. But in the economy of a trauma bond, fragility is power. Let's look at Bella. Her primary survival strategy is projected vulnerability. Throughout the first book, Bella's humanity is framed as a constant emergency. She is always one step away from being crushed by a van, attacked by nomads, or simply tripping over her own feet. To the observer, this is annoying. To Edward Cullen, this is a magnet. Edward, who has spent a century in a state of moral stagnation, desperately needs a purpose. By being perpetually in danger, Bella provides him with that purpose. She offers him the one thing a godlike entity lacks the chance to be a savior. This isn't just a girl needing a boy. This is a transaction. Bella trades her safety for his obsession. She uses her weakness to anchor his godlike power to her own life. It is a brilliant, if subconscious, survival strategy. If she's always the one who needs saving, he can never afford to leave. Section 2, Stefan Salvatore and the good man Fallacy contrast this with Elena Gilbert. Elena's strategy is different. She doesn't weaponize physical danger, she weaponizes moral redemption. When Elena meets Stefan, she recognizes a creature drowning in his own self-loathing. Stefan is the Ripper trying to be a saint. Elena offers him the ultimate survival tool, a mirror that only reflects his good side. She becomes the curator of his morality. By telling Stefan, "I know who you really are," Elena creates a psychological trap. She binds Stefan's sense of self-worth to her own presence. If Elena leaves, Stefan is just a monster again. By positioning herself as the only person who can see his soul, Elena ensures that Stefan is tethered to her for survival. This isn't just teenage love, it is narcissistic mirroring used as a shield. Elena, who lost her parents to a random accident she couldn't control, now has total control over the moral compass of an ancient vampire. The safe haven she seeks isn't just a physical house, it's the power to be indispensable to a protector. Section 3. The static as a drug. Why are they so obsessed with the static? To understand this, we have to look at the biology of trauma. When a person lives through chronic instability, like Bella's role reversal childhood or Elena's sudden bereavement, their nervous system is stuck in high alert. The human world, with its ticking clocks, its aging bodies, and its unpredictable tragedies, keeps that nervous system firing. But the supernatural world, it is the ultimate off switch. When Bella is with the Cullens, she is surrounded by things that cannot break. The marble-like skin, the indestructible cars, the century-old furniture. This creates a sensory anchor. Her brain, which is wired to expect disaster, finally receives a signal that disaster is impossible. The static of the vampire life is a sedative for the trauma brain. In The Vampire Diaries, the boarding house serves the same function for Elena. It is a fortress of history in a town that is constantly being burned down. But there is a catch. To stay in the static, you have to stop growing. Growth requires change, and change is the very thing these girls are running from. By choosing the safe haven, they are making a deal they will trade their future for a permanent, unchanging now. Section 4. The paradox of the dangerous protector. To an outside observer, falling for a predator, a creature that literally views humans as a food source, is the height of irrationality. But in the psychology of trauma, there is a phenomenon called identification with the aggressor, or more accurately in this case, the domestication of the threat. For Bella Swan, the human world is filled with uncontrollable threats. Cancer, car accidents, social rejection. These are things she cannot fight. But Edward Cullen is a controllable threat. He is a monster with a code. By winning the heart of the most dangerous thing in the forest, Bella effectively neutralizes all other fears. If the lion is protecting the lamb doesn't have to worry about the wolves anymore. This is the magnetic pull of the static. By choosing a partner who is inherently dangerous but static in his devotion, Bella creates a predictable environment. She trades a world of random, chaotic danger for a world of singular, focused intensity. Her survival strategy is monopolizing the predator. If she can keep Edward's focus entirely on her, she is the safest human on the planet. This isn't a loss of agency. It is a masterclass in risk management. Section 5. Damon, Salvatore, and the Safety of the Dark. While Stefan offers Elena the safe haven of morality, Damon Salvatore offers her something even more potent, the safety of the dark. Many fans debate Stelina versus Delina, but from a trauma perspective, they represent two different survival mechanisms. Stefan is the coping mechanism, the attempt to return to a normal, safe life. Damon is the defense mechanism. Elena, burdened by the crushing weight of being the golden girl, who must keep everyone alive, finds a strange relief in Damon's nihilism. Damon is the personification of the static because he refuses to change for a century. He is unapologetically a monster. When Elena leans into her relationship with Damon, she is practicing emotional outsourcing. She allows Damon to be the bad person so she doesn't have to be. She uses his ruthlessness as a shield against the world that keeps trying to kill her friends. In the books, her attraction to Damon often spikes when she feels most powerless. Why? Because Damon is a weapon. By controlling the weapon, Elena regains the agency she lost when the car went off Wickery Bridge. She isn't falling for the bad boy. She is acquiring an asset to ensure her survival in a world of monsters. Section 6. The mechanics of proxy control. This brings us to the concept of proxy control. Neither Bella nor Elena are physically powerful, at least not in the beginning, but they exert massive influence through their partners. This is a sophisticated survival strategy used by those who feel systematically disempowered. Notice how Bella handles the tension between the Cullens and the Quileute wolves. She positions herself as the bridge. By being the fragile thing both sides want to protect, she becomes the most important political figure in Forks. She is the one who decides who gets to fight and who stays home. Her clumsiness and vulnerability are the levers she uses to move mountains. In the Vampire Diaries, Elena does the same with the Michelson family and the Salvatore brothers. She uses her status as the doppelganger, a biological victim, to negotiate terms with ancient vampires. She turns her victimhood into a seat at the table. This is the magnetic pull. They aren't just drawn to the vampires because they are handsome. They are drawn to the structural power that comes with being a vampire's everything. In a human world, Bella and Elena were orphans with no say in their destiny. In the supernatural world, they are the queens of the chessboard, protected by knights who will burn the world down to keep them safe. The safe haven isn't a place, it's a position of absolute power disguised as a romance. Section 7. The script of the selfless victim. We must address the dialogue. Both series are famous for lines like, "I'd rather die than be without you." These aren't just romantic sentiments. They are binding oaths. When Bella tells Edward she wants to be a vampire, she is effectively saying, "I want to resign from the human race because the human race is too hard." When Elena tells Stefan she can't lose him, she is saying, "You are the only thing keeping my trauma from swallowing me whole." This selfless victim narrative is a way to bypass the guilt of their own survival. If they frame their obsession as true love, they don't have to admit that it's actually a desperate grab for safety. They use the language of romance to mask the mechanics of survival. It's a brilliant psychological trick. They convince themselves, and the audience, that they are falling in love, when in reality, they are building a bunker. Section 8. The collapse of the strategy. When the static breaks, what happens when the safe haven turns out to be a cage? Or worse, what happens when the static protector leaves? This is the central tragedy of New Moon. When Edward leaves Bella, he thinks he is saving her humanity. But from a trauma perspective, he is removing her like support system. Because Bella has used Edward as a static shield against her own inner void, his absence doesn't just cause a heartbreak, it causes a total psychic dissolution. This is the danger of proxy control. When you outsource your survival to a supernatural entity, you lose the ability to regulate your own emotions. Bella's reckless behavior in the sequel, the motorcycles, the cliff jumping, isn't just teenage rebellion. It is a desperate attempt to reboot the static. She is trying to force the universe to bring back the protector. If she can't have the safe haven, she would rather be in the crisis, because the crisis is the only thing that might summon the shield. Elena Gilbert faces a similar collapse when she turns her humanity off. When the static of her moral redemptive relationship with Stefan and later Damon fails to protect her from the death of her brother Jeremy, she chooses the ultimate static move, complete emotional numbness. Turning off the humanity switch is the literal manifestation of the magnetic pole of the static. It is the desire to be as unfeeling as the marble statues they live with. If you can't be safe, you can at least be empty. This is the high price of the SAR. To buy your way into the safe haven, you eventually have to pay with your soul. The magnetic pull of the static is powerful because it promises an end to the pain of being human. Bella and Elena successfully won the game. They secured their protectors. They built their bunkers. They moved into the safe haven. Winning the game might be the most dangerous thing that ever happened to them, because the truth about a safe haven is that it is also a boundary. And in this supernatural world, a boundary is just another word for a tomb. Is it possible to heal from trauma without freezing yourself? Can you find safety without becoming a static entity?